pop out the chat here. Okay. Everybody, welcome. What's up, Scott? So we'll try the same thing as last time, where I'm going to try to play a different champ every game. Let's pull this over here. Okay, there we go. Special thanks to Andre and Bloodlust for subbing. Appreciate it. Just a little bit smaller. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can do a different champ every game. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Last night I ended up going, I think, 60% in ranked, so it was good. I won both Rakan games and lost. Went 1 and 2 on the other stuff. We'll see. You just tweeted at me? Okay. I got a tweet too, that's a good reminder. Don't forget you can follow me at the Strap Prof. She just texted me again.
Your worst decisions will haunt you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to get closer to 9:30. But yeah, still not perfect. I'm trying to get, like, especially on Mondays and Wednesdays, I need to get some extra sleep in the evening. So, like, I'll sleep from, like, I don't know, 6:30 p.m. until around, like, 9 or 9:30 p.m. So I grab an extra 3 hours there, because when I end the stream, probably around 1, then I have to get up at 6:30. And usually I spend at least another hour, like, doing lesson planning. So I'm really, most of the time I'm getting 4 hours, if I'm lucky, on Mondays and Wednesdays. So I try to get a few hours in the evening to make up for that. So I'm still trying to get used to that schedule. We're not really climbing that much, but I think we're having fun. Hey, what's up, Alex? Ever since I disabled the chat, I think I've been a little more chipper than usual, although it hasn't really affected my win rate. Oh, cheer up, Alex. You're in the happy zone here. Okay, let me change my stats around too. Some people asked if I would also make this a bit smaller. We're at 47. Got it. Oh, they took Zaya. Cool, man. Oh, I forgot I do have Overwolf. People asked me to, like, install this, and I figured out it is Riot approved, so we'll try it. Oh, washed up Riven. It's okay on Cat. Doesn't seem that great. What do we... Okay, we'll play it. Okay, so I don't know how this thing works, this Overwolf thing, but we'll look. I figured if anything else, It might be fun for people watching. What? Is this the app where it tells you stuff like right here? That's not what the most common build is at all. What is Control Z? Got wards in their jungle. Yeah, there's definitely... That's not the current... Like, level up order either. I mean, some people do Q, I guess, but nobody does Airy these days. It's pretty out of date. Okay, I'll get the black screen here. Hopefully, they'll probably invade me. Don't worry about it.
Welcome to Summoner's
I'll just chill under the tower, though. This is something that everybody's been, or a lot of the pro players have been pushing because they get paid to push it, but it's basically a glorified Poro Fester, but you can look at it, and I just figured I'd try it out. Some people are asking about it. Is this where their MMR is? Because I thought there were 2 gold people on our team.
Minions have spawned.
Okay, so Jarvan's pretty good. What is Slayer? Okay.
I don't need to understand the plan. I trust my...
It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, it's kind of like Poro Fester, but you can pull it up in the game, so the build definitely... I mean, you should never really trust anything that's telling you a guaranteed, like, you need to build this every time with no context, because they might be hanging out in this bush. If they are, I'm going to have to W out. Because all items at the end of the day are contextual for most champions. Like, there's going to be some difference. Especially Rakan. Like, Rakan is very, very contextual. Like, yes, getting Zeke's is very good a lot of the time on him, but there are some times where Athene's could be better. And then, especially once you start getting into secondary items, it's very, very situational. Now, there are some champs that should be getting the same thing pretty much every game. I mean, ADCs are one of those types of champs. Okay. I was hoping I could get the heal off of Zaya also, but I'm getting by. She's blowing through all of her mana. Dude, don't hit that, like... I'm setting them up for you, bro. Really surprised I didn't flash that, but... That's all I had to say about me was skilled Rakan. I mean, that's kind of lame. How does Ash go with Rakan? Okay, I mean, pretty much everything's good with Rakan. Except for maybe, like, Vayne. But the cool thing about Rakan is like you can just go roam somewhere else. Cat's dead to that Jarvan. Okay, at least nobody got the assist. I guess it could give you a heads up on like who's really strong on the enemy team, so that can be useful.
I feel like my allies aren't recognizing how amazing my cloak is. I mean, seriously.
One thing I'm trying to do more is try to get even more vision, deeper wards, and like look for more roaming opportunities. Not is pretty good for sure.
What humans call magic?
I wish they'd lower his mana cost a little bit, but okay, they got him. I wish they would make Spellbook a little more viable. I like that idea. Like, you can do so many different things with it. It's cool. It's just probably really hard to balance around Pro. Just being able to take, like, Teleport or something to support. They just nerf so many other things in Inspiration.
Magic.
An enemy has been slain.
Ew, she's going for the Vamp Scepter. Blatherin King is so trash on Ashe. Well, check out my Ashe guide if you haven't already, if you want to know why that is, but basically her flurry does not trigger it multiple times, and I think that's what a lot of people get confused about. It's a special case scenario where it doesn't get multiple triggers. But yeah, I think Essence Reaver's the best, and then probably Essence into Hurricane into IE.
I will make them hear.
Or you could just go Essence and IE, but I like Essence. The 20% CDR is very nice for hitting those arrows. Some people were doing Trinity with Comet. I think that could be okay. Trinity's just very expensive, but it's kind of reminiscent of the old Blatherin King build, but with more damage. I need to buy, but I guess I should have just bought. I was trying to hold it. Guess we can get one more kill.
Time to get it started.
I didn't mean to get that last hit. My bad. Jungler's camping bottom and you just basically win the game. I mean, it's really that simple if you're a jungler, I think. At least under Diamond.
Yep, if I'm gonna see the human world, I need to start.
Grace level, or Thresh level 4. This Thresh is gonna AFK, man. Like, that's just a sad day. Yo, what's up, Rembrandt?
The world isn't about selecting stuff.
I can't. Dang, I got my wards at 840 because I haven't left the lane. Okay, so definitely that, I suppose.
Hey! Damn, where is she? I hate it when she leaves.
Rampage.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of G1 or GF2 or G2s in this game. Sure. Now's your chance. If you're high gold and you want to try to play against me. Hopefully it won't be a very long window. Hit him, dude. Don't let him damage our tower.
Should I be?
Now, we're all on YouTube now. I did a video about it last week, but the basic gist of it was just causing too many disruptions on YouTube, and we just didn't have a big audience on Twitch. Like, we had virtually nobody was watching Twitch that was not also watching on YouTube. And there were a lot of people that were not watching on Twitch that would have rather watched on YouTube. So that's pretty much what it came down to, is there was really, like, virtually no benefit out of it at the end of the day. But there was a lot of downside to it. So, I mean, we did have high numbers at one point. Oh, real? Yeah, well, that's annoying. I guess I should have W'd him. I was trying to get greedy and just charm him and then W him or whatever, but... Nice, Benjamin. Well, good luck, buddy. Look at all that vision around their jungle, though. That is delicious. Maybe I should start putting a ward in the lane like that. I never really thought about that too much, but maybe just like warding blue, warding try, and then... You can't really do that if your mid laner's not warding upper side of the river, though. One really nice, like, unspoken thing that you don't hear about a lot is, like the W wave clear. Oh! Oh my god. Hit him with that money bags, baby. We dancing?
Dominating.
mean, yeah, we're doing very well bottom, but let's not forget that, I mean, Zach is basically just sitting on bottom lane, too, so that that definitely helps. I'm going to save for a control ward here. Sweet, there you go. Hey, strategy professor lessons help. He was bronze 2, now he's P4. I could have just gone on him, but yeah, give me that assist. Oh. Tried. Oh, jeez. 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 God.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down.
I thought that was the Jarvan right there. I would have probably run the other way.
They will see my dance.
You're only given a little spark of magic.
these dragons, boys. The faster you get each dragon, the faster you can get the next one. Which way we're going here?
I'm gonna take all they got. Last. Totally forgot.
We're getting dumb. We gotta. Can we get the dragon? Let's back up and get dragon.
Humans talk about their treaties. We talk about
Pretty sure there are no wards anywhere, but just check that. I mean, you should pretty much always get the free stuff unless you have a lot of momentum, you know? Like, if you just got an ace, obviously don't turn around and do dragon instead of, like, inhibitor, but if you're just A-ramming middle, you should go get your free stuff first. You know, get the dragon, farm your jungle, farm their jungle. I mean, it's unlikely we're gonna lose this, but we could, you know?
Shut down.
I need to probably go buy. You got these assassins that just want to go for the 1v9 outplay, though. Which is unfortunate. Actually, let's just turn that into that.
our magic is a fury. It is a song you cannot resist.
We're starting to throw. People are just doing stupid crap. And we don't even have any inhibitors yet. Like, it's not like... Like, they have no wards. All they have are shallow wards. And that's how you do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here
Bait them
to
over.
entertain
Just do this.
myself. But you too!
Quit chasing kills. Zed's ult's almost back up. Just keep coming in here. They'll keep filing in. You just get more and more kills. I mean, they're basically forced to like walk into darkness. So it's like, even if you can't do the Baron right away, like, if you have full vision over there, they have a choice. Either they give you the Baron, or they come over and, like, face check a bunch of bushes, and you get the engage on them. So half the time, it's like you don't even need to like actually do the Baron. If you just force them over there, even if you don't end up getting it, if you just get 2 or 3 kills, fine, reset, do it again. Time to have the talk. He's 31. What's up, Vithoria? I mean, if you win on it, it's okay. The problem is, like, if you don't have other ranged champions, then, like, you might be too melee heavy, but, you know, if you totally dominate and win on it a lot, that's fine. I didn't realize his head was 15-1. That's interesting. Those aren't even my percentages. I think this thing is like bugged because right? I'm not 47% Rakan or Zyra. I'm pretty sure I'm over 50% in each one. Or am I crazy? Yeah. Like 50% Zyra, 52% Rakan. Even in the last like 7 days, I'm 58% Rakan. And I think in the last month, according to Porofessor, I'm still 50%. Seems like this is offering more useful tabs also. Main picked by enemy, unkillable laner. Porofessor, now get it in game. Wait, are there like more apps you can get within Porofessor, or is this supposed to be the same thing? Is face check a different thing from Overwolf? It says ranked solo. I mean, is it last season? I don't even think I was that low. I don't think I've ever been that low on Rakan over a whole season. Maybe like bits and pieces of a season. I can't remember what I did last season. Season 8, I was 51. Season 7, I was 50. Season 6, he wasn't out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Porofessor and OPGG have me there. Yeah, this only counts ranked games, and I don't do flex, really, so... Nah, I'm pretty much not gonna... Whatever the main champion is that I play, in a given meta, then I'm not gonna play that champion in a normal. Like, one of the main reasons to play a normal would be to try something else out. I don't know. This seems inaccurate, and like, there was something else that I pulled up before that seemed like it was a little off. Yeah, I have more than 101 total games. 400. I don't have 455 games on Zyra. Like, where is it getting these numbers?
Your worst decisions will haunt you.
I have like 311 games on Rakan and 100 games on Zyra. It can't just be the last 15 games because that's the last 15 games. And I don't think the last 15 games, I'm 47% on Rakan. Does it mean the last 15 Rakan games? I think, let's see. How many are right here? 20? Let me see what I'm gonna pick here. Oh, I've still got a little bit of time. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 3 and 4, 4 and 4, 4 and 7, 6 and 7, 6 and 8, 7 and 8, 7 and 9. That might actually be 40-something%. So that stat might be okay for the last 15. So it's like some of the stats are okay. But like I've played more than that many games though. That's the thing. It's like way more. Like this is saying I've played 455 Zyra games, and this is saying I've played 101 Thresh games. But I know I've played way more than that. Rakan games. I know I've played way more than that as Rakan. And Zyra, I haven't played that much this season. If it's talking all seasons, I've played way more than that on Zyra for all seasons. So I'm not really sure. Like it seems like it's both wrong on overshooting and wrong on undershooting. I don't know. I would have more games on that. If it's counting multiple seasons, I would have way more games than that on Rakan, though. If it was counting that for Zyra. And if it wasn't counting some games this season, then there's no way I played that much on Zyra. So I'm not really sure what the explanation would be that would be consistent.
The dawn has arrived.
Hey, James. I know you're here pretty much every night, like, saying negative stuff, man. I already have said the last 2 streams that I'm trying to play some other stuff. I literally just picked Leona this game, like, right when you pressed, don't play Rakan every game. If I played Rakan every game, I'd probably be Diamond again. But I don't play Rakan every game. Because I know people like watching other stuff sometimes. This just seems bad, these recommended runes and items.
First light approaches.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
The sun always.
I don't think I get anything. I mean, it's like, it's cool and everything, I guess, but I don't think I'm getting that much more out of that than I would get out of Porofessor.
Minions have spawned.
Like, the recommended items are, like, not terrible, but they're not, like, great. They seem really outdated for the meta.
Stay at the vanguard.
Really? They have that fucking warded? They warded the Gromp. Okay, maybe they warded Tribush, and I just saw that.
Ever vigilant.
Okay. I have to kill Malzahar, and he doesn't have Hex Flash. Okay.
Chosen of the sun.
I kind of... Well, she just used her Q. Kind of want to be level 3.
Boom. Headshot.
How did she get level whatever earlier than me? Pretty sure he healed also, didn't he? Oh god. I'm dead, probably from her. I thought the extra range on the Q, if he turned around, might give me enough to get him. Hey, thanks, Sandy. Yeah, I mean, that's just how James rolls. He's always got something negative to say. I mean, we appreciate him coming out, but it'd be nice to be a little more positive sometimes.
Boom. Headshot.
Yeah, I mean, as I always say, if I'm gonna play one champion a lot, you know, Rakan would certainly be on the short list of champs you would want to see.
Boom.
Those of you who've been here a long time, you remember the Janna days when I had like season 6 or something. I had like over 600 Janna games. I thought those were interesting, but that's one, you know, that people definitely critique during like the Ardent meta. I guess it would have been season 7, yeah. But yeah, I am trying to fit in a little bit more diversity, even though it's probably going to hurt my win rate. She didn't get the trap set. What?
I must not fall.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
She needs to Q.
Boom. Twilight fades.
When she lands her traps, like the Q does full damage if they're trapped. So she needs to Q them and then headshot them. Like, just nobody knows how to play Caitlyn. This one's at least trying to use traps though, so I'll give her credit for that.
They will be sundered.
Yeah, you gotta kill it. I can't walk up to that. Bliss could be in that bush.
Chosen of the sun.
Leona does more damage than Rakan. I think that's about where it stops. She's got more CC and more damage, I guess. But yeah, she's a lot less resilient and doesn't scale as well. She does have a shorter cooldown on her ult, which is good. But yeah, she's just much more one-dimensional. She's like better offense, but way, way worse on defense. I mean, they both have the potential to engage. I see that, but
I will protect you.
I mean, Leona's big thing is she's like pretty tanky early, so you can stay in fights. But the huge one is like her ult's 90 seconds, so it means you have a lot of opportunities to make plays once you get to 6. Yeah, she can also go through minions. I mean, Rakan can do that too. But that's another thing that I like about Leona. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Leona and Nautilus are... That one's a bit closer to being, like, similar, I think.
Boom. First light approaches.
Are we gonna... they had it warded, and I guess they just ran over there really quickly. I didn't think they got it warded, but guess they did. I think the meta is pretty degenerate when Brand's the highest win rate support. That was like Dark Harvest last winter, I think. He was pretty. I don't know if he was ever number 1. He might have been. But Brand and Tyra were both very high. I think that was when they reworked Dark Harvest last winter. Might be wrong about that, but.
The sun always rises. Chosen of the sun.
I should just literally dodge every. Like, when was the last time I won a game with a Caitlyn? It's so bad.
I will protect you. Approaches.
Turret plating will fall soon.
That was a nice sidestep. Oh my god, he's here too. Alright, well. See ya.
An ally has been slain.
I knew Nidalee was probably going to show up.
I must not fall.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
There's not really any outplay in Malzahar with that ultimate. Well, I was body blocking for her. Like, I went on the blitz, and if you notice, I was standing right in front of him, so he couldn't try to hook her until I switched over to Lucian. So I was doing my best to body block for her that time.
The sun always rises.
Your turret has been destroyed.
The sun.
Lee does like 0 damage. I think he just healed him. Why would you kick first? The kick's an execute, right? So why not, like, you know I'm going to engage on him. Wait, no, the Q's an execute. Is the kick... Okay, maybe the kick's not an execute. Maybe the Q is. I mean, he does get Aftershock also, so he's going to be a little difficult to kill. I don't know. It felt like if we would have sequenced the stuff a little bit better there, we could have killed him. But...
Your turret has been destroyed.
I mean, at least they have Nidalee, I guess. They're gonna die while I'm trying to ward.
Enemy killing spree.
Yeah, they're dead. And we're short people, like we can't. We have too many mid-game champs. Like, Pantheon and Lee fall off really hard, so does Caitlyn. We could maybe come back in, it's just hard. It's like, who do we come back through? Maybe Zed. They do have a lot of squishies. I mean, Nidalee's gonna fall off too. If we get some good picks, maybe we can...
Rally to me.
Okay, go, Zed. Alright, he's got it, right? She's really fed.
The sun always rises.
Yeah, it's true, we are all AD also. Fortunately, they're not really stacking armor. But I don't think it's gonna matter.
Enemy killing spree. destroyed. Killing spree.
Alright, well that stalled him a little bit, I guess.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Boys. Hello.
An enemy has been slain.
Guys, can we quit fighting over red and like someone helps me actually clear this? Like they're gonna get this inhibitor.
Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
Okay.
I must not fall.
I think Sona's really good in the right circumstances.
Unstoppable.
Just you need a team fight comp where they don't have many assassins, which is rare, but I played a Sona game, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. How does Caitlyn get caught? Again. Nope. Give me double inhibitor. It might be game.
Has been destroyed.
Because yeah, I mean, this is an example where kills don't really matter that much. Like, because we just don't have good map position. Even though we're getting kills sometimes, it's usually when we're in our base and we're not getting anything for that. It's like, we're defending stuff, sort of, sometimes. I wish Caitlyn was just like Jinx or Twitch or, you know, just something scaled. I guess once she gets her 4th item, we can hold out another 10 minutes, maybe. She's just so bad with Zeal items. Because, like, her base attack speed's just so slow. She really should have gone, like, another AD item. We just have too many just mid-game champions that require. Well, I guess Pantheon doesn't require that much skill, but just too many mid-game champs that are bad when they're behind. Lee, Pantheon, even like Leona is pretty hard to play when you're behind because like you're going in like that, and if no one follows up or just a bunch of goofy stuff's going on, you're just gonna lose. Yeah, I mean, Pantheon's just a dumpster fire champ. Like, I mean, he's kind of like how he's always been, and Lee's the same way, where it's like you really need to win before 25 minutes. Which in this meta is totally doable, but you don't really have a plan B, you know? And Caitlyn, you just don't win with Caitlyn. They don't need to bring the Runins past. I mean, Caitlyn's just really dangerous to buff. I think they should just reduce her auto range by 60. And then just give her, like, better attack speed or something. I don't know. I know that's what really makes her unique, is the 650 range, but because of that, you can't really, like, give her much power anywhere else because pros will abuse her too much. Yeah, I'm not really getting anything out of this app. I'm just gonna close out of it. Maybe it's the face check app and not Overwolf itself. Maybe I can see if there are other apps on Overwolf that do better, but that seemed pretty weak. Like the stats are just off and the information's not that great. Well, the thing is, like, Zeal items aren't even that great on her because, like, her base attack speed is so low that you don't get nearly as much benefit out of Zeal. She wants AD because she gets, like, a large amount of crit, like, or a huge modifier on her traps. So, like, she's basically balanced around you have to hit your nets and traps. I mean, she's pretty much a combo AD carry. She's almost like a mage. It's just like, if you just sit there and just normally auto-attack people, she's bad. Like, you have to chip them down, you know, with your range, and you have to be using your traps and your net correctly. But the problem is, like, a lot of players don't utilize her range correctly, they don't poke with her, and they don't use the traps or the net. Like, they just, like that, I don't remember if it was that game or the previous game, but like, for instance, that game, Caitlyn, every time someone stepped on a trap, she would just, like, auto-attack them once. Whereas, like, that, you know, it's just not good enough. You gotta Q them, like, because whenever they step on a trap, then your Q does full damage to them, even through minions. So it's a lot more damage than people think. But, like, at a bare minimum, it needs to be Q plus auto. If you're in range, if there's nothing blocking you, then it needs to be auto plus net backwards, auto, and then Q. That's, like, the big damage, but almost no Caitlyn's gonna do that.
I decide what the tide will bring.
Son, let me tell you, you need to consult your lawyer before you have sex with that woman tomorrow night. You need to get that contract drawn up, sign it. You need to have your lawyer present for the encounter. Hey, this is Stan. He's going to be representing me tonight. He's just watching. It's fine. They discontinued YouTube gaming. I'm not really sure why. It just wasn't really that popular, I think. But they are kind of doubling down. They are doubling down on, like, the streaming. I think they're adding more features to streaming itself. This guy just said, That's romance in like 2030, I swear to God. It's basically romance right now. Honey, you need to bring your papers from the clinic. I'll bring my papers from the clinic. We'll get a lawyer, draw up a consent contract. It'll be hot. Okay, that looks fine. Some guy said he was he's like, dude, I'm gonna bang this hot chick 10 of 10 tomorrow. I'm so pumped for it, or something like that. I'm like, whoa, slow down, bro. Okay, you need to check those papers. All right, you need to call up Stan, get the contract drawn up. You need to get the breathalyzer. You need to get the consent contract. You need to have Stan watching with her permission. Video recording the whole thing. It's sad. The sad thing is, really, like, that's pretty far-fetched, but this day and age, man, like, you really, like, you gotta be very, very careful.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I mean, you might end up in jail for having sex with a drunk girl, like, at a frat party or something. Like, you gotta really watch out these days. There are flyers all over campus that literally say stuff like that, like... Lawyer and liar. Well, here's the thing, though. The law has many facets. The law is not about being right or wrong in an abstract sense. The law is about representing your client to the fullest as the law will allow. And then everyone gets fair representation in terms of the law. That's what justice is everyone gets fair representation. So that's why there's a separation between lawyer, judges, juries, you know, defendants, all of that stuff, because it's not like the cop's job to decide whether you're guilty or innocent. It's not the lawyer's job to decide whether you're guilty or innocent. That's the judge and the jury. There are all these different systems in place to try to give everyone, like, good representation, you know, because the thought process is, even, like, you know, people that are accused of shady things or criminals and all of this stuff deserve good representation, because sometimes things are not as they appear. I know in 2019 it doesn't seem that way, but there's actually a process for deciding whether or not someone's guilty, and it's more than just a tweet on social media or whatever, you know, whatever the news wants to say. So it's called due process. So I don't know. I mean, that was a major thing this country was founded on, is people having, like, a fair shot regardless of how much money they have or, you know, whatever's going on. So, you know, it's important that even guilty people get represented, because it's not about one person in one case, right? It's about millions of cases and millions of people. That's the thing. And there will be, you know, lots of innocent people that get put away because they don't have good representation. So that's the thing, is I think a lot of people, and like some of these that look goofy, like the OJ with the glove or whatever, like, yeah, he probably killed him, but you got to watch out for, like, the system itself, because if the police are improperly gathering evidence and stuff like that, like, yes, you're gonna let one person get off, in order to straighten that up, but you could potentially save thousands or millions of other people from being wrongly convicted because evidence is gathered improperly. So it's, you know, a combination of individual cases, but also trying to keep the precedent and like the procedures clean and set for millions of other people. So there might be some cases where something could be unjust. Dude, come on. She was too far away for that. But, you know, our system basically said, like, it's worth it, you know, if one guilty person sort of gets off. If it's keeping the system cleaner. Oh, lawyer? Huh. I've always heard it called lawyer. I mean, it's like the word is law, not loy. Well, it's one of those games. So yeah, I know it's like trendy to make fun of lawyers, especially like criminal defense lawyers and things like that, but I almost went into law. I was very close. Jury duty. I'm not sure. I don't know how other countries work with that. I mean, they want people by the people, like, it's tough. I almost think there should be, like, they should call in, like, law scholars to do that. Like, it should be, like, practicing lawyers, at least. Or, like, the only people eligible for jury duty because they actually understand the law. And they get paid, like, extra money for doing that. I think ultimately that would be better. Because that's still a lot of people to pull from. But, you know, there's always, like, the chance if you lower the pool of people, then there's a higher chance of corruption. But at the same time, you're asking people to evaluate these, like, really complicated cases where they don't understand the law sometimes, the jury, and people can just play up, like, sensational elements. So that's one thing. I think I would probably like to see that where you have to be, like, a certified juror, and it's like part of legal training. So like if you were a citizen, you could become a certified juror. Maybe. I don't know. You might need to pass law school to be eligible for it. I'm not sure what the process would be, but I think having a few more qualifications other than just like a random name out of the book to decide if someone is guilty of murder or not is probably a good idea. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I think there's enough lawyers out there where you could just pull from lawyers. Of course, I don't know how many cases. Maybe there are just too many cases to handle that. That's also totally possible. Or you could just make a juror like a full-time job. But then it would be like the same people all the time, who could be corrupted or bought or whatever, especially in really high-profile cases. I don't know. It's probably relatively fine as it is. Can I just, like, have a game where I don't have to play Rakan because there are, like, 50 fucking people bot lane every game? I really want to play stuff other than Rakan, guys. I just don't want to end up in bronze. It's like every game I try to play an enchanter, it's literally just people just sit bottom. And like Rakan's one of the only champions that can deal with that. I think. I mean, he deals with it better than almost anybody else. I still die half the time as Rakan, but at least I can kind of deal with it. No, I've never served on a jury. People actually don't want jury duty because, like, you get excused from your job or whatever, but I don't think you get paid very much extra, if any extra at all. Chasing the Leona. We've got Jinx diving. Azir's probably coming back down here. Is Azir gonna be here, bro? Wow, what the fuck? He didn't kill her? Dude, just fucking surrender. I'm so sick of this shit, man. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, jury duty the day you turned 18. It sucked, man. It'd be catastrophic for me, like, as a teacher, because I don't get paid shit. Like, I mean, I think they might pay you for some of the work you're missing, but it would just be, like, I can't fall behind in that. It's very, like, it's very important that we're on time. Like, I can't miss a single day, hardly, with teaching, because the semester will be over, and the students just get screwed, like, if I can't cover it. There are some jobs where there's more flexibility, although I imagine a lot of jobs have, you know, certain time considerations for their projects.
Enemy rampage.
Really? Let's try and delay her as long as I can. A flat wage or your job's wage? Yeah, but it's not worth for me. I don't know. I mean, there aren't many jobs. I mean, I guess if you like work at McDonald's, if you work at like a standard job where it's just very linear, like you're just basically doing the same thing every day and you're not working on like time sensitive projects, or you just like work at Walmart or something, like maybe that's a little bit like okay. But you know, if you're like an engineer or something, you've got the deadline for these plans or like this product that you have to release or whatever, and they're like, hey bro, you got 2 weeks for jury duty, and it's just like, I can't. Or if you're like a law student and you've got your like, or just any sort of student and you've got like final exams that week or something, like there's probably a system in place to like let people out of it more, but I guess you could just like, don't they ask you questions and they throw certain people out? I mean, I'm sure people do this all the time, but you could just say just like crazy biased stuff. Just say like, I hate all white men. You might actually get selected though by the prosecutor. I don't know. You could just say something that was like really biased and people might like throw you out. I mean, it's important that we have juries, but once again, I think it should probably be like either a straight up a profession in and of itself. Like you could train to be a juror just like you are a judge. I mean, we don't have random judges like from the public, and judges are deciding cases. I mean, I guess you could just get rid of jury trial in general, but I like the idea of having multiple perspectives on something instead of just one judge. So I like that, but I just feel like it's too easy to manipulate people that don't know anything about the law. Especially like as a prosecutor or whatever, like you can just say this person, you know, did this crime or whatever, and it's gonna be like, okay, are you gonna like, you know, who's gonna let off someone that's like some heinous crime, right? Like aggravated assault against an old lady or something in a convenience store for, you know, like a technicality, like basically what we would, like what a civilian would think of as a technicality, like improper evidence or something like that, you know? Dude, you're not gonna catch him. What? Okay, maybe this is it. I should have just bubbled the Jinx, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I feel like, I mean, I don't have any empirical evidence for that, but I feel like juries are going to tend to go for like the sensational stuff, and they're not really going to pay as much attention to procedural stuff. I mean, someone's going to say, look, they gathered this evidence, like, you know, 5 minutes before the warrant arrived, they went into somebody's house, therefore you should throw it out. And the other person's going to be saying, we have pictures of this person punching the old lady in the face. Like, you know, I feel like they're not going to listen to procedural arguments like that as much. I don't know. I just feel like it's always easy to manipulate the masses. I mean, just look at anything that's been going on in pop culture, social media, politics, all that kind of stuff over the last, I mean, pretty much forever. Like, Plato did not like democracies. Or maybe, yeah, Plato didn't like it, and I think Aristotle didn't like them either. I think most of the Greeks did not like, or at least the philosophers did not like it because they knew you could manipulate people so much. Yeah, I mean, that's true about, like, judges and good judges, but, I mean, people are people, you know? At the end of the day, like, a lot of people just don't know a lot about the law, and they're pretty easy to manipulate. Okay. What? Nobody went in? Let's just pack it up. I'm gonna have to get a Rakan game here next just to wash my mouth out. Thinking Fast and Slow. No, I haven't read that. I don't read a lot of stuff, unfortunately, these days. I mean, it's basically just, like, classroom stuff and channel. It's just, like, they camped the hell out of bottom. Like, Vi came down, like, 5 times. Azir came down, like, 3 times. Hecarim, I don't think, ever came down, and they win the game. It's weird. It's almost like someone could predict that. Or has been talking about that problem in League for years. About the asymmetry in the map. Hey, Jonathan. I do not, if you're talking to me. I don't know if you're talking to somebody else. I thought about it, but I just don't have time. I would have, if I had time, but it's just no way I can do it. I'm already not doing everything I need to be doing with my current responsibilities, so... Well, don't quit. You don't tilt, man. I'm sure jurors probably don't like lawyers because they're thinking that lawyers are probably trying to manipulate them, which is true. I mean, like, the lawyer's job is to win the case. Like, the lawyer's job is not to decide who's innocent and guilty. And I think that's what a lot of people get confused. That's why people think that lawyers are slimy. It's like, it's not their job to be correct or accurate in terms of, like, the truth. It's their job to try to represent their client the best they possibly can. And that's just so lost on people. Everyone just always thinks it's all about right and wrong and, like, what are the facts and things like that. And I'm like, the facts very rarely matter as much as people think they do. Like, students in my class all the time are like, well, there are these facts. It's like, no one can deny the facts. I'm like, have you seen anything that's happened in the last 10 years? Oh, Lord. Wait, how did he kill me? A soldier or something? Huh. Hey, thanks, Morovo. Yeah, people, be sure to drop those likes if you do enjoy the content. I know this game's, like, not crazy, but that's one nice thing about the, you know, the games is I don't think I get too, like, mean. I mean, obviously, I'm not, like, super excited about a lot of stuff, but, you know, even if the game's bad, a lot of times the conversations are good, I think. So you've got that going for you. But yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people just don't like about lawyers. The main thing that kept me away from being a lawyer, though, first of all, I heard the job market was terrible, but job market for higher ed is also terrible, so that was kind of a wash. But it was just like my friend who'd actually been to jail was telling me, I thought I wanted to do, like, criminal defense. And he was just like, dude, you do not want to do that, trust me. He's like, they spend all day, evenings, everything, coming in and just talking to, like, you know, just some really bad people, man, that you don't want to be, like, hanging out and talking with all the time. And he's like, it's just, he's like, more than anything, it's just depressing, man. That's what he was telling me. He's like, having to go in there and just, like, hang out at the jail all day. He's like, jail sucks. And so I was like, yeah, I probably would have to go and just, because I hadn't thought about, like, nuts and bolts. I'm just thinking, like, okay, courtroom, you know, you're in there, you're arguing your case. It's great. But it's like, and you're thinking like it's some grand crime that someone's like misaccused of or whatever. It's like, no, it's just gonna be a bunch of petty stuff, like petty drug crimes. You're gonna have to go and just like hang out in jail. I've never been in a jail, but I've had to wait at a jail to bail somebody out before. And yeah, I was just like, you know, I just don't think I want to do that. I know there are different kinds of, I know there are different kinds of lawyers, but I mean, we definitely need lawyers, although I think there's a bit too much litigation in our society right now, but lawyers are important. It's just not something I would want to do. Try to make a good play. I can't make it. I mean, I'm trying, like, we're down a lot, and we have an incompetent team. Oh, unless you're talking to Lev. Maybe you're talking to Lev. Sorry if you are. I'm not following that conversation. Yeah, pretty much. It's sitting there, like, researching stuff and gathering evidence and things like that. A lot of stuff is probably actually settled outside the courtroom. I don't know, James. I mean, Rakan's my highest win rate support by far, so, I mean, am I going to be like a pro player tomorrow if I play Rakan? No, but, I mean, empirically, he's my best champion. Like, it's hard to argue that, especially, like, in recent history. And not only is he my best, he is the best. I don't know how to beat him. Like, if they get him, he's really hard to beat, also. I like teaching. Like, I don't get paid that much, but I feel like most of the time it's pretty uplifting. Like, I feel like I am making positive contributions, you know, to the lives of these students, to communities, and things like that. So, yeah, there are a couple of bad apples in teaching, but vast majority of students are very cool, very chill, and, like, very, you know, by the end of the semester, typically pretty thankful for learning stuff, at least in my class. Like, they don't learn most of what you teach them, but, you know, if you're putting it, like, if you're prioritizing what's actually important, you know, usually they'll walk away with 2 or 3, like, important things. Yeah, she is, but you know what? I ban her every game.
Your worst decisions will haunt you.
And I don't like playing more. Because, like, yeah, she's pretty good against Rakan, but she's pretty bad against a lot of other stuff out there. Let's go play a Rakan game. I need a win here.
Let's dance.
I teach persuasive writing, so basically like your entry level. I agree with that. Morovo. Best ADC right now in solo queue is Draven. I think Zaya's pretty good, and Kai'Sa's pretty good. Jinx is pretty good. I mean, there are several like pretty good ones, but I would still prefer Draven the most. I think Romeo said something about like science, like math and science being facts. I really don't think that science is like that fact-based in what people think of as fact, because like the whole premise of science is to try to disprove itself. So there are things that are like really hard theories. That's not to say that science has no value, of course, but I think a lot of times, you know, sometimes we forget that like the foundational like aspect of Western science is that it was supposed to challenge you know, metaphysical paradigms. It was supposed to constantly check itself, evaluate itself, and sort of update itself through a process. It's often one of the most congruent with reality as we can test and perceive it. We'll put it that way. But I don't think that it's... Okay, so maybe it's not that it's congruent with reality, but sometimes, like, it's not convincing to actual people unless you understand how that science applies to the lives of people. That's the thing that a lot of people don't get, is, like, even if something is technically a fact... And math is, like, it's factual, but it's because it doesn't actually exist, like, in reality. It's like you don't actually find the number 1 anywhere in reality. I don't believe. I mean, Plato believed you could. I don't think so. You just see stuff and you're just like thinking that represents the number 1 or that represents the number 3, or like this is a chart that's an estimation of what's going on. So like math is useful, but it's just like kind of like an overlay of reality and a way to interpret it. But you know, I had one student, you know, and students say this all the time, stuff like, oh, well, that's factual, so therefore people are automatically going to agree with it. It's like that. No, it's not. It depends on what you're, like, you have to sell it to people. Like, you have to convince them that that's a fact worth considering. And sometimes, if you don't do a good job of that, there are some bad consequences. Like the
30 seconds until minions spawn.
the most recent vaccine debate.
Yes, it is.
Right? Like, vaccines have, you know, been scientifically proven to be very effective against, you know, many viruses since their inception, you know, over 100 years ago. But then someone, you know, a group of people comes along and tries to create some way to challenge that narrative with, like, really janky evidence, but still people bought into it because they were saying stuff that was, like, things that people were scared of. People that, you know, don't have the education to understand how vaccines work. And so it's really dangerous. I think it's very easy just to blow off stuff as like, oh, it's factual, and anyone that doesn't believe in it's an idiot. It's like, yeah, but like that has real world consequences. Like, you need to market better. Like,
Don't want a war.
I think sometimes science just rests on its laurels and just says, you know, we don't need rhetoric or we don't need any sort of persuasion or marketing because the facts speak for themselves. It's like, but they really don't. Like, you need to come out and tell people, like, and they're starting to do that now with vaccines, but I think they got lazy with it for a while. Like, here's not only how effective it is statistically, but here's what it means for your life. If your kid gets polio, they will have these debilitating diseases. Like, if a lot of people don't get vaccinated, it does create these problems. So, like, they need to sell this stuff to people.
Humans claim
Should they have to do that? Probably not, but, like, that's just how it is. You gotta convince people why they should care about certain things. Like, smoking's another great example. This has been a huge battle for a long time, and it's because they've approached it in the wrong way. Like, a lot of these anti-smoking things, especially back in the 90s with DARE and stuff that I can remember, is they were just like, hey, don't do it, it's bad for your health, you know? And it's like, people that smoke know it's bad for your health. Like, you're not telling them anything they don't understand most of the time. But if you say stuff like, it'll make your teeth yellow, or your teeth will fall out, or things like that, that would be something that would scare kids a lot more than you have a, you know, a 5,000% increase in getting lung cancer. Because that's something real. They're like, ew, I don't want yellow teeth. Ew, I don't want to taste like an ashtray when I'm making out with somebody, you know, like...
you're only given a little spark of madness.
You gotta pitch it to the kids, man, and things they understand. Missing out on hot dates. Costing a lot of money. Well, that's stuff they care about. Okay. It's like trying to prevent pregnancies and stuff, like the abstinence only, you know, type of education. I have a lot of students write about that stuff too. It's like, bro, that is not gonna fly. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, people are gonna have sex. Like, you need to tell them, like, about these good options that they have for, like, birth control and things like that. To be a DARE officer. I mean, that's what needs to happen. Are we really? Like, you don't have any mana, though. It's so stupid. Why?
They will see me. They will see my dance.
So they're gonna get tempo advantage on us. Because Kai'Sa wants the BF sword. Like, Brand's got full mana, he's got an upgraded item.
That's the only way to live.
I mean, abstinence is like, that's like cool for some students. I don't remember what the stat is. I think it's probably something like half of all high schoolers don't have sex, but like in high school, but like there's a lot that do, man. And those are the ones like that are dangerous. Like I think a lot of the abstinence only people are not doing it because of that program. You know, they're doing it because of like religious stuff, or they just don't have any game, or they are just really picky, or you know, whatever. They're scared. I mean, it's something like that. Like, I don't think that DARE really, like, makes that much of a difference. Like, the, or not DARE, but, like, the abstinence-only education. I think that it's not going to convince kids who were, like, probably going to have sex to not have sex after that. I don't think. I mean, it's possible. Like, the STD talk is a little more, like, that's a little more frightening, probably, for kids, but just, like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and they're changing it in a lot of places. Like, they're trying to do better with that. Okay, they have a lot of AP.
I'm gonna live forever.
An enemy has been slain.
I mean, you just gotta let kids live a little too, man. I mean, I think that people are just so scared to let kids get in any kind of trouble. It's like, just let them go out and have some sex if they want, man. Just tell them, like, consequences. And just bag it up, Junior. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like...
Enemy double kill.
She should have run the other way. But... Are they pushing a tower? No, they're gonna get to freeze outside tower. Yeah, I don't think... I mean, I don't know. Maybe some circles of friends, or... I just feel like that myth of, like, people coming at you saying, bro, you gotta smoke this. Like, I just don't think that happens a lot. With cigarettes. Dude, you gotta hit these camels, man. It's crazy, you know? I think what'll happen is people will just see other people smoking, and they'll say, okay. I would say, I mean, I don't have hard facts on this. I'd say probably half of all smokers probably do it while they're drunk. They probably start while they're drunk, and then they're a smoke drunker, or a drunk smoker. And they're just like, you know, I just want, you know, I just want to have a little smoke while I'm drinking. Like, I feel like that's what happens a lot. And then you're just hooked on it. So I don't feel like there's a lot of peer pressure. I feel like people are just like, a lot of times they're just drunk or they're just hanging out and they're just like not thinking straight, and they're like, hey, let me have a smoke. Or like they date a smoker or something like that and they're smoking all the time, or like their best friend's smoking and they're like, yeah, sure. I don't think it's like, you know, like the myth of what they'll tell you where it's like you're at some party and people like back into a corner and they're like, hey man, you gotta smoke some of my camels. Why would they want to give cigarettes away to people? Because they're not selling it. Like the weed people, there might be some people that are like, you know, trying to get you to smoke some weed just to try to sell you weed. I don't think that happens very much either. That's probably more with much harder drugs, like cocaine or something. People might give you some cocaine so they can turn you into a client, but like they can't even sell you cigarettes. You're literally just bumming their cigarettes. So like, why would somebody want to convert you over to that? So they have a smoking buddy or something? I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make any sense why there would be heavy like peer pressure, like direct peer pressure for smoking. what, you want to start smoking so you can smoke some of my cigarettes here? Like, you take my cigarettes? I don't know. I've never seen that happen around. And I've seen lots of friends that smoke weed. They always told me, like, sometimes people would offer me weed. I've never smoked weed or cigarettes. I have a history of drug problems in my family, so I just never wanted to get involved with anything. And, you know, sometimes people are just like, whatever at a party, you know, and they just like offer you some weed, but it's just because they're being polite. Like, I don't feel like they're trying to pressure you. It's just like people are standing around, someone's passing around a blunt or something, and they just pass you the blunt, you know? It's like, I was never, someone was like, dude, you gotta hit this, you know? It's like they want you not to hit it so that they get to smoke more of it, unless they're a dealer. But then if you know these people, then they're not, and if they're like really your friend, they're not gonna pressure you, I don't think. I mean, that's not how I saw it. It was usually just like somebody was doing it, and then other people thought, I'll give that a try, and then they just got hooked. I think that's just how it works a lot of the time. Basically. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like the peer pressure sort of thing.
They're scared of dark.
At least to me. I mean, maybe, you know, I'm just one person living one life, but from what I've seen, I've never seen heavy, like, you gotta do this. It's usually just like, if it's weed, people just offer you some just because you're there and they're trying to be nice. Or if it's cigarettes, you just ask for one because you're drunk. I think that's usually how it goes down.
I don't apologize for it. I feel good.
Yeah. I mean, like, stuff like cocaine and heroin and stuff like that, that's a different story. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in those circles, and people will try to get you hooked to try to sell you stuff. Like, I did have someone try to pressure me into doing some cocaine one time when I was, like, older. I was like, no. Like, at a party. Many years ago. Okay, I'm gonna come back down here. How... Okay, we're actually ahead.
They want us in cages.
But I was just like, it was a guy that I'd known a long time ago, and I was just like, nah, man. And he was like, come on, dude, it's alright. Like, just try it out, man. It's free. And I was like, no. He's like, okay. I mean, even then, it's like, it wasn't that rough. The dude I was with tried it. It's like, what the hell? Vagar is going to be really annoying to deal with. He's very fed, too. So he's definitely going to one-shot. This game's going to be frustrating. Met the underage chick. No, it was a different party. I mean, honestly, that's probably the most, that's probably the most dangerous thing at a party, is a 17-year-old girl, if you're a guy. That's over whatever the age of consent is in your state. I think that's more dangerous than coke, heroin, everything else that's there. Because that is actually very tempting, and they will come for you. And that'll get you 10 years in jail real quick if things go south, so... That's real tough, especially when you're a young gun, you're single, there's some really hot girl, you know, like, all over you, drunk at a party. That's a tough one. That's a lot harder to say no to than some dude snorting cocaine off a toilet or something. Some like junky looking guy snorting cocaine off a toilet.
Their treaties. We talk about their lies.
I need to know when the action's
Some hot chick that's like all in your business.
look right. Time to show it.
Yeah, I knew the Vagar was flanking there. I just thought maybe we could get the, I thought maybe we could get the, volley, but he's so tanky right now.
I do not wish to kill the mortal.
Your turret has been destroyed.
He's gonna blow me up. Yeah, it depends on your age. In my state, it was 17 to 21, I believe. It could be a 4-year difference. But yeah, it just depends on your state. It's people that are right on the line, and it's like, you know damn well that girl knows what she's doing. She ain't no princess. Girls that come at you at a party like that, but...
If it don't get out of control, it ain't
You know, you gotta
hard.
be strong, man. It's tough. I think I was 23, and there was a 17-year-old girl that was, you know, kind of trying to talk to me at a party. And I was like, you seem really cool, but you're not cool enough for 10 years in jail.
Don't leave nothing. Bring it all. Hello? Anybody there?
It just depends on the girl, too. I mean, some of these girls are, like, you know, pretty mature. Like, this girl read a lot of poetry. You know, she was articulate, well-spoken. You know, she, like, you know, she knew, she had a conversation like an adult, you know. Had a lot of confidence. But at the end of the day, age is age, and that's just, you know, how they want to do it. I don't know why Vlad went into that. I guess he got one kill out of it.
It is godlike.
So I guess, you know, there's no, like, fair way to measure that. You know, as far as legal terms, they just have to make it a static thing, because they're just saying, like, they don't have enough worldly knowledge to consent about something like that, because they don't understand consequences. It's kind of, I think, the legal reason why they do that. And I mean, there are lots of girls that are also a bit, you know, that, oh my god, dude, this bear, am I gonna die to the bear? Shit. What is the cooldown on that chomp? False teeth. Oh, grandma's. Well, age does, I mean, age does have an impact on maturity if you look at very large populations. Like, not for, there will always be individual exceptions for that. Like I said, I think this girl was, you know, knew what was going on. I don't think it would have been taking advantage of her in any sort of way. You know, I knew what was going on when I was like 17. It wouldn't have been taking advantage of me in any way. If like some, you know, 25-year-old girl, 24 or whatever, when I was 17. But, you know, there are, you know, there are plenty of people that are just like don't have a lot of confidence. They don't have a lot of like knowledge about stuff. They don't understand consequences, and they can get taken advantage of by older, you know, older men in particular. So I think it's overall it's a good law. You just got to watch yourself. They do have it in place where I think like if like a parent could consent to like someone getting married who's underage, but that doesn't really happen. I tried Volibear support. I don't think he'd be very good, man. I know there have been like some meme builds with him. Hey, thanks Divine PK, I appreciate it. Shit, I used my jump. Okay, I got pretty lucky I didn't die there. Because I'd used 2 jumps. Well, never mind, I'm dead. Because Vagar. Hey, thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. Is it illegal if you make out? Yeah, I think it's illegal, like, depending on how far people want to go with it. If you touch them in any way at all that could be suggestive, I think it could be considered, like, sexual, which would be illegal. It doesn't just have to be sex itself, I think. It might depend on your state, but yeah, I think that anything. It could, like, even remotely be interpreted as, like, a potential prelude to sex. Could get you in some serious trouble.
An ally has been slain.
Whether it would be fully called statutory rape or something else, I'm not sure about that one.
I hate it when she leaves.
And I'm not even sure who prosecutes that, or like what the evidence or whatever. I think that parents, like, it doesn't even have to be like the girl, like, even if the girl doesn't want to press charges, I think if the parents or just anybody figures out about it, a best friend that's like a hater or something, anyone like snitches or tells about whatever happened, I think you can get in trouble even if the girl doesn't press charges. I think. I'm not 100%, because I know something like that happened with my friend. I think she was like 17. She might have been a little bit young. She might have been 16. I don't remember. It was, my friend was probably like 22 or something like that, and she was probably like 17. Anyways, and I think there had been some sort of, it might have been a restraining order violation though that her parents put out on him. I don't remember, but her dad came home from work one day and found him naked in her closet, and I know he went to jail for like, I think it was 3 months, so it wasn't full-on statutory. Hey, what's up, Eric? Why did I come back to YouTube full-time? The numbers just weren't there on Twitch. Like, basically, everyone who was there on Twitch was someone who came over from YouTube. But there were a lot of people from YouTube that did not go over to Twitch. So it was like it was a losing situation. Pretty much. I did a whole video about it last week. It was pretty much a losing situation. And the reason that I tried to go down to 2 days on Twitch was because we had so many subs. In the first month, we got like 80 subs, which is great. But then when I dropped it down to 2 days, we dropped down to like 20 subs, which is not really worth like all the problems with YouTube. So, I mean, I was averaging like 55 you know, viewers or whatever. And on YouTube, it's like, even on like pretty rough days, I'll average like maybe 90 to 100, and on really good days, you know, I'll average 150 or 200. I mean, she's actually just gonna hit me once. I got my shield.
Shut down.
Yes, you can still sub on Twitch for now. I'm gonna have to check what it's gonna take to retain my affiliate status. I think I might have to stream like one afternoon on a weekend or something like that, which I might do, just so we can keep affiliate status. But yeah, if you do want to drop a Twitch Prime or something and support that way, you can still do that, as long as I maintain affiliate. I don't like Braum right now. I mean, I think he's cool. I think he's a great character. I like his, you know, I like his positivity. I think he's really good in pro, but I don't like Braum in solo queue. If you're gonna play like something that's not an enchanter or like an AP champ, I think you need to be playing something that can make plays a lot easier than Braum can. Maybe with Lucian. Like, the thing is, he has really high base stats, but he has really poor scaling. And it's hard to make a play with him.
What humans call magic, we call life.
Well, that seems like a freaking train wreck. Under the tower, man. Well, I guess I kept Baron. Dude. Might just go Shirelia's if we get enough for a final item.
My lady's gonna heal them.
Hey, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the content. I know we got like 115 people in here. Come on, we do more than 25. I know it sucks to log in, and that's annoying, but it does help out a lot. Liking and subscribing. You know, I do release a lot of videos on the channel, and I know I cover Total War and League, but you can always turn the notifications off if that's what's holding you back from the sub. You can still sub and turn the notifications off, and then just you can join the Discord, or you can just pay attention to the Twitter. You can join the Twitter at the StratProp. Oh wow. Alright.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Go get more wards. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, we got 7 more there. But it really does help, especially like newer people that are just, you know, looking around for something to do. It does help out. And it tells YouTube that we have quality content, so they'll recommend my videos to more people. You need to get priority middle. They're going to get priority. Sucks.
Peekaboo.
Kai'Sa's trying to push. Dude, just push bottom. Like, we're not going to be able to fight.
Don't take a lot of words to tell the truth.
I mean, I thought that engage looked okay to me. It's just we did no damage. Rengar didn't jump over. Gotta wait on Rengar.
I will make them dance. I will make them hear.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Really? Okay. They're just giving that inhibitor up, I guess. Okay, yeah, they should get it really quickly. Don't run away, don't run that way, don't run that way. They're all gonna be there, dude. Oh my god. We're getting so lucky that like Zoe wasn't there too. I gotta remember to use Shurelya's because I don't get Shurelya's that often.
Magic is to plunge into it, move, dance, and dance.
I would say Taric in lower elos will have more compositions where he might be useful than Braum. I mean, Braum can be... Braum's harder to play, I think, than Taric also. But Taric at least has scaling. Like, that ult scaling is really nice. And then, like, the plus healing and shielding that he gets is pretty good. So, like, especially if for no other reason than in certain cheese comps, like, Taric can be really good if you have, like, a Yi or something like that on your team.
Woo! I am so into this. What? When you open your eyes, you see everything is limitless.
Wait, why?
I can't wait to see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show people some of the strength.
Okay, they're just gonna give us Dragon. I guess we'll push middle. It's gonna be really hard to push through middle. Come on, man. How do they catch you?
I dance because I'm free.
Alright, we're gonna have to wait on Kled. Hardest scaling support, if she doesn't get touched, probably Soraka. Sona, either Sona or Soraka.
If you aren't a little frightened, you ain't alive.
Tarek is the Ezreal of supports? I mean, maybe in terms of sexuality, but in terms of, like, playstyle, I think they're extremely different. I would say, if you're trying to come up with something that's similar to Ezreal, maybe Rakan. Just, like, really difficult to catch, but there's not really something that's like... maybe Yumi has good poke and is difficult to kill. They're usually paired together also. I'd say, like, Yumi might be the closest to Ezreal. Yeah, I mean, Yumi has pretty hard scaling too, but her cooldowns are really long. That's the thing. It's like Soraka's heals on like a 2-second cooldown. And if you're like max items with like, you're gonna be healing for like 500 every 2 seconds. This guy with these charges, man. Maybe I should have done him at Kales instead of Shurelya's to help people get out of the Veigar stuff.
The enemy's
I feel like, who killed me? I feel like it was like Volley. I guess Volley didn't really touch me. Sleepy Trouble Bubble? I didn't even think it did that much damage.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Actually, they don't win off this, right? No way. Yeah, they do. Okay. Wow. Most similar to Lee Sin? Probably... probably Ezreal, I don't know. Highly mobile. Kaisa. Well, that Kled had like 5 really bad engages. Ashe, I mean, it depends on if you're thinking of like engage or like the burst or the mobility of Lee. I don't think anyone's gonna have all of that. And this had a really good team fight, like, with Veigar and Brand. Like, we maybe should have just had Kled try to split. Because they can't really split that well. I mean, Volibear might be able to beat up Kled 1v1. Yeah, with, like, Jinx Rockets, Brand ult, Veigar Cage. That is a correct statement, James. That is a possibility. I don't think it's gonna happen. What's up, Humdinger? Thinking about getting Bard. He's okay. I mean, you need to play him a lot to be proficient on him. I mean, he's just weird. Like, he's really kind of best early game. He's like a shorter range sort of lane bully. I mean, he does a lot of upfront damage. Does a lot of burst. He's good at roaming, obviously. He's got a lot of utility with his ult, but you can really mess it up too. I mean, Pyke's pretty good too. I just feel like he's pretty bad if you're behind. I've tried to play him some before, but like Pyke is good. Hey, what's up? Hi, Karamba. Thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate it. I mean, both. Like, they're both sort of similar. Like, Pyke gets resets and gets a lot more gold. But they're both kind of like early pressure laners. Pyke, they both have quite a bit of burst. I mean, they're similar in at least that respect, how you sort of play them early. I'm gonna try to get some wins here.
Let's dance.
I thought about playing Zyra, but she's banned. I don't want to play Brand. Yumi's banned. I could have tried like Nami or something, but we'll probably just try to roam middle a lot. Nah, I don't want to do Sona into Vi and Thresh. I don't like Blitz. I think if you want to play a hook champion, I would play either like Thresh or Nautilus or Pyke. Blitz is just too one-dimensional. Like, he does do the most burst damage of like the hook champions, I think, with no items. But it's like if you miss that hook, you're completely worthless.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I am gonna get in there.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Actually, wow, that's way
30 seconds until
not as bad as I thought. Looking at these gobstoppers, my wife got these as part of some kind of like...
It ain't a party.
There's like a silent auction and people donated a bunch of stuff for like Goodwill. And she got like this basket full of stuff that like a bunch of kids' toys that also had candy in it. And so she gave me the gobstoppers, but they're only like 60 calories for 9 of them.
So into this.
I'm used to like,
Minions have spawned.
if I get candy, I'll get like Reese's, and those are like you know, like 250, and those are on the light side. I didn't realize, like, even just kind of a smaller Little Debbie's like 400 calories or something. It's like, what the hell? That's like a whole meal.
If you aren't a little frightened, you ain't alive.
I mean, none of it's good for you, but I'm taking one for the team here. Eating this random candy that she got, so our daughter doesn't eat it, and so my wife doesn't eat it.
I think they underestimate my charm. How is that even possible?
No, I haven't even gotten candy from Halloween in probably like a decade. I might get some more with my daughter this year, we'll see. I kind of don't want her to eat all that candy, but...
Given a little spark of madness. You mustn't lose it.
I might tell her she's got to split that with Dada.
By how
I could have shielded some of that.
look right.
I need to bring down the cooldown on Guardian a little bit, man. Come on, 70 seconds, too early game, too much. Bring it back down to 45. I mean, by the end of the game, it does block like thousands of damage, though, so it's like... It is an extremely powerful rune on the right champs. Come on, man, we need to buff Rakan. No one ever sees him in pro or anything else. I mean, if you're playing Rakan, you really can't complain that much about. Too much. It's like almost the perfect storm. Like, good in almost every situation, like not a huge ban rate. Not an insane pick rate. It's like kind of the Janna of old. Where it's like when she had a 55% pick rate, she was still never, or a 55% win rate for like 3 years straight. She was still never picked or banned hardly. She was picked some, but she was never banned. People only ban it if it's really flashy, although Rakan is flashy. Oh man. His Ignite might be off cool. I think his Ignite's probably off cooldown, so I gotta be really careful here.
I'm getting impatient.
An enemy has been slain.
Vi might come down and die, but she's probably going to get Scuttle and then look at us down here and see if... She's not level 6 yet. Okay, no, she's going middle. She saw the Lee gank middle. Actually, it feels like we're getting crushed here, but we're actually not that far behind in CS. Yet. If we die, it's going to be really bad. If we're constantly pushed to tower, but they don't have any plates yet, and we're not, like, that far behind. Lucian's out of mana. He's going to have to take it back soon. Vi's right there.
I'm G to the D. Golden diamond, boy. Woo!
we gotta get the push on him.
Enemy has been slain.
Okay. So they're probably not gonna miss much, but at least it's in their tower. It'll bounce back.
Shut down.
Alright, against double AD bottom. Alright, I want to try to go for an all-in, so I'm just gonna... I guess that's fine. Let me get a... Yeah. I mean, I could have gone. It's gonna slow down getting a glacial. But since they're both AD and the jungler's AD, I just want a lot of armor right here. I mean, that's true, but he's annoying. I don't know. I mean, that's totally true.
For humans, magic.
I don't see Ram as banned that much, though, but it's like people who have really annoying mechanics. For some reason, Janna just... I don't know. Can't explain why people do what they do sometimes. Oh, I didn't get the assist on it. Oh well, at least somebody got the assist. I don't know about E'ing forward, Ezreal. Freaking Ezreal's, man.
To see if people can see how awesome I am.
I maybe should have put that.
Shut down.
Well. Seriously? Why are we killing the Thresh?
It's a revolution. And it's good times.
It's like, I could go for this guy who's got really low base stats and no defensive runes. Or we could go for this dude who has Aftershock, who's basically invulnerable for most of our damage. Huh.
Time to get it started. Welcome, Gauntlet.
It was just like... I don't know. Maybe I should have gone for Thresh and like Lee could have kicked him under the tower. I was just like, let's kill the Lucian. Thresh doesn't do anything. He doesn't have any damage like at this point in the game, so just kill the Lucian and we get a double kill on Thresh. Like literally Lee just walks up with me. I, you know, are the Lucian. WM, and then Lee just combos him, right? Just kicks him, Qs him, dead, right?
They ain't ready for what I'm bringing. Step right up.
Killing spree. Ally has been
Humans
slain.
claim it is theirs.
Wait, did Ezreal die again?
I dance because I'm free.
Your team has destroyed a
Well, yeah, but... Hey, what's up, Otaku? Let's try to be very careful about what you try to do as Rakan. He can do a lot of stuff, but I think overstaying or trying to do too much is the big risk. Like, whenever you go in with your W, like, the biggest mistake I make is sometimes you'll, like, ult and then try to W, you miss your W, and then you still try to hit him. Or you hit one person, then you try to get more than one person, and you get CC'd and killed.
I'm gonna show people some of the strange.
An enemy has been slain.
Fuck! Damn it. Tried to hit her right before that lantern. Oh, she's dead. Maybe? Yeah, she's gone. Tried to get her before the lantern. Before she could lantern.
I have got to stop talking myself. Damn.
That's pretty rough.
I'm here. I'm gone. I am so gone. Turn in, turn on, drop out. Vision is the first step towards understanding.
Ezreal, dude. So like I say at every game, man, I don't know how people are so bad on this champ. I mean, yeah, I do. He's hard to play optimally. You gotta hit a lot of skill shots, you gotta know what you're doing. I'm still just like always shocked at just how worthless Ezreal feels. Although statistically, he's not my worst pairing. feels like it sometimes. It just feels like champion's just worthless. But I mean, he's kind of got Janna syndrome too. A lot of times it's like the stuff that he does do is very subtle and goes unnoticed.
I think Zaya told me to improvise. At least that's the only part of the plan I remember.
Like his burst damage is not high, but it's just kind of consistent. He can get out of a lot of situations where others can't, in theory. But Singe is actually pretty annoying with the grounding effect on his trail or whatever.
Magic, wilderness.
I'm getting evaporated. Why don't we do damage to anybody? Diane's got a death cap. How does Lucian not disappear? Lee had his kick. And his flash. It feels like we're playing on some kind of hard mode where they get like an extra 20% damage reduction or something. He didn't die? Oh my lord.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Zaya says someone has to die, they die. And they deserved it.
Nice, good job, Jennifer. And she's alright. I think she's one of the better engaged champs. I played a game on her earlier tonight. Oh, do I think Reggie's gonna fire the entire league team? Doubt it. I mean, I don't know, but from what I understand, there was some really, like, sketchy stuff going on with the junglers. Their junglers have been, like, just really bad for, like, the last 4 years or something. I can't remember the last, like, good jungler TSM had.
It don't take a lot of words to tell the truth.
I think Amazing ended up being alright at, like, on another team. I don't remember, but they do not scout junglers or train them appropriately. There's just something up with like TSM and junglers. I mean, Thresh kind of stuffed our engage, but like Lee should have been able to flash kick the Lucian. Like I feel like yeah, Thresh did all right, but I think we just failed more than anything.
My dance, then they will know magic's joy and its fury. When you open your eyes, you see everything.
Singe is a problem. I'm gonna have to get some
Shut down. Double kill.
Yeah, I got the assists on those, baby. Also gave her a Guardian proc, which was interesting. I doubt they have it warded in the pit. Yeah, let's just get this.
When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead. True story.
Damn, that Lucian's gonna hit like a truck. Got 2 big ticket items.
Humans made promises.
Sven Skarin. Yeah, I think Sven might have been the last, like, pretty good jungler. Was he before or after Amazing? I don't know. I can't remember. I guess the last time TSM were really good were with Double Lift, right? I still don't know why you would get rid of Double Lift. Like, and, I mean, it was obviously some kind of personality clash or something. Nice, there we go. Oh, come on, Lee. We need you up, buddy. Dead. God, I got baited so hard by that Jax. Get the tower, bro. Don't get wolves. What the fuck? Okay, I guess Diana's gonna get it. Alright. They have... I guess Singe is kind of getting armor. They have virtually no armor on their team. They have one person that heals. Mortal Reminder is sketchy. I think there could be better options than that.
They've never seen moves like this.
Basically, yeah, Jax is a lot of our damage for sure.
What humans call magic, we call life.
I know people are watching. How can they not be?
Magic.
Jax does have his TP. You know, we just gotta let Jax get pressure.
I want to feel everything. That's the only way to live.
Yeah, that's why I zeked the Jax in the last fight, was because, yeah, he's pretty much everything to us. Singe might... I don't think Singe can 1v1 him. It's possible. Jax doesn't have any lifesteal yet. I would have gotten lifesteal against Singe.
I don't need to
Something.
understand the
Gunblade.
plan. I trust the mind.
Oh, Lord. Ezreal's terrible, but it's alright. We can win with Jax.
I hear the music.
No, not buy... Like, the Zeke's is not buying Jax. I'm saying that I put my Zeke's activation on the Jax to increase his damage. That's what I'm saying. Instead of Ezreal in one of the the fight that we had middle, because Jax is really strong.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Well, Jax is staying ping because Ezreal's sitting there not doing anything while he's trying to fight. I mean, I totally understand. And Ezreal had heal. Like, Ezreal could have been auto-attacking the, I mean, I couldn't get in close because I was melee, and I knew he threw his stun thing in the pit, the echo, so I couldn't go in there until after that went off. But Ezreal can because he's ranged. I was trying. Like, I was ready if he survived the stun, but...
That's who I
Yeah, so I mean, I understand why Jax was spam pinging that for sure.
Let's see what's happening.
An ally has been slain. Has been slain.
Yeah, they sent 3 bottom at Jax. That's unfortunate. I do not have my ult. He's waiting on his thing. Holy shit. God, I got flayed and knocked back by like so many times. What were the CCs? I only got flayed, I guess? Oh, I got vault breakered, flayed, convergence. I tried to flash E, but then he flayed me when I E'd, I think. Wait, he used his E on the tower?
An enemy has been slain.
Don't leave.
Yeah, this is kind of a rough one.
Bring it on.
He really needs some kind of lifesteal. I mean, yeah, he's doing very well, obviously, but if he just had some lifesteal, like either Death Stance or Gunblade, I think he'd be unkillable. Because, like, they're not bursting him down, it's just he's dying in, like, Singe Poison. But if he had some kind of lifesteal, he could just heal through it.
Fun.
Because Singe doesn't even have that much damage on it, it's just, like, slowly poking away at him. Hey, what's up, Divya? Good to see you, friend. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a wonderful day over there. It's probably like the middle of the day. Stay here just in case he needs a jump. They're gonna get priority and vision on Dragon.
I am only as loud as my
Since we have two pink wards.
I am not blind to anything.
So weird how you have to like get your perspective different so that you can actually click on that.
Long ago, our kind danced upon the
Think of our world teams. I haven't seen which our world teams are. It's what Liquid, whatever.
Your team has
I think I don't remember what they're called. These things, honestly. It's Liquid, and then I don't. Is it C9? I think it's good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we get out of group stages. I still think that the European teams are very strong. The Korean teams are strong. I haven't kept up with the Chinese teams, but I assume they're probably strong too. I think North America is still going to be the underdogs. I think G2 is ridiculous. Like, Fnatic took them to a, I mean, they took them to 5 games twice. So I think Fnatic's pretty good too. But I think that G2's really good. I think that, like, SKT is probably pretty good.
I know I don't stop by the stream much anymore, but I still support you, Professor Smile.
Alright, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks, Benjamin. I gotta unfortunately pack it up for tonight. I hate to do it because we have over 100 viewers. I will be back tomorrow, but I have to get up in like probably 5 hours or less. I have to go, you know, get my daughter ready, take her to daycare, and then go teach this 8 a.m. class. And I still got to do some lesson planning, so we'll be back tomorrow. I might be able to get on a little bit earlier or stay a little bit later. We'll see. And then I will have the patch notes, and I'm going to actually try to do more tier lists than just to support. I'm going to make it a huge priority. I'm going to go through. We're going to try our damnedest to do a 30 to 45 minute tier list for each role. So be sure to, you know, come by, like and subscribe if you enjoy it. It takes a ton of time to do those things, but that's something I've said that I really want to bring back to the channel is doing more of these guides because I know people really like the guides. And I just got to keep doing them. See if we can do at least, you know, 4 or 5 guides a week. That'd be great. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll do some more guides. Thank y'all for sticking with me as always, even when we're kind of down in the dumps here in terms of ELO. And hopefully we can climb back. I'm going to still try to bring you some variety. I'm going to try. I know I just played 2 Rakans in a row there, but I'm going to see if I can, like, not play Rakan twice in a row at least and see if I can find some other stuff that's working. Leona's okay sometimes. I like Yumi, although I'm not very good on Yumi. Like, Nami's still pretty solid sometimes, so. Sorry, Enrique. I'll be back here tomorrow. I hate going out like that, but I've really, like, my health has not been good over the last, really over the last year or so, but especially over the last, like, few weeks, you know, because I'm just constantly walking around in a haze. I just don't remember stuff because I'm not getting enough sleep. You know, I put on some weight in the last year because I just am, like, sleeping at weird times, and I'm just, like, so tired. I don't want to go out and exercise and things like that. So I've got to start, like, and that, I mean, that's probably playing into part of why I'm, like, messing up some on stream too, is my reaction time might be a little slower. I don't know. I don't want to blame it on that, but I need to be getting a little bit more sleep, and this 8 a.m. class is killing me this semester. So just on Mondays and Wednesdays, I got to pack it up a little bit earlier, but then, like I said, I'll try to stay maybe a little bit later for you guys tomorrow. Especially, I know the non North American people. So, anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see everybody next time.